Today I want to do this worksheet with you using the calculator. I know I briefly did this with you in class the other day. If you remember, I asked you to always take the lid off the calculator and then snap it onto the back. So I want everybody doing this with me. You're always going to set your calculator down next to the work you're doing. It kind of allows you to write with your pencil or pen at the same time that you are punching in on the calculator, so I can actually open up my pen. Today I'm using blue. You're going to fill this worksheet out with me. If you remember how to turn your calculator on, you just press the on button here. To turn it off, you have to hit the second button and then hit on again, because right above on is the little green word that says off. So now it's off. To turn it on, you're there. For some reason you needed to clear your calculator, you would hit clear over here. So the first thing I want to do is this worksheet. So I want your calculator sitting down. I do not want you holding it. I want your pencil in your hand or your pen. And if you're going to write two equivalent fractions for 3/10, you would need to know how to plug in 3/10 on your calculator. The fraction button is this one here, n over d. So you can hit it first, or you can hit 3 and then hit the fraction button, and now you're in the denominator for 10. And if you hit enter, it's there. If you wanted to make an equivalent fraction, you could like double this fraction. So I wanted you to know how to put that in. An equivalent fraction to 3/10. If we double the top and double the bottom, you could plug that in. 3 times 2 is 6, and 10 times 2 is 20. What if you, instead of taking it and doubling it, what if you took it times 10? You could take 10 times 10, which is 100 on the bottom, and you could take 3 times 10, which is 30 on the top. Just to show equivalent fractions, you don't have to necessarily erase what you have in your calculator. You could just put 30, hit the fraction button right here, over 100, and then if you hit enter, it'll simplify it back down for you to 3 to 10. Again, that was 30, fraction button over 100, enter, and it takes it back down to 3 to 10, and it keeps all your work there. You can clear it. To make this easy for you to see, I'm going to slide my calculator over. I'm also going to move my paper over so you can see both. Express this mixed number as an improper fraction. So how would we put 5 2/3 into our calculator? Well, a fraction is just the fraction button. The mixed number is like the green one right above it. It looks like U and then N over D. So anytime you want a mixed number, you have to hit the second and then the fraction button, and then the mixed number comes up. Again, that's the second and then the fraction button. If for some reason you get a weird error, just clear it out and try it again. Fraction, or second and then fraction button. You're going to type in 5. Now you want to go to the top, so you have to use this little arrow thing. I think if you press over, you get to the top, which is 2, and then to the bottom you press 3. And if you hit enter, it changes it to an improper fraction, which is 17 over 3. So that's what you're going to write. So important here, you had to hit the second button and then the N over D fraction button, and then you have to hit enter. And that's how that works. Clear your calculator. You're going to move over to this part. So I'm going to move my calculator here so you can see express 43 over 6 as a mixed number. So if you put 43, notice how I'm holding my pen and I'm just pressing with my finger. I never have to pick it up. Fraction button over 6, and I hit enter. It stays 43 over 6. Uh-oh, how do I switch this to a mixed number? Well, if you look, right here, this times 10n button above it in green, you have a fraction, and you also have a mixed number that's in green, so you have to hit the second button, times 10n, and it's going to ask, are you sure you want to take your fraction to a mixed number? And you have to hit enter. Yes, I do. Now you get your 7 1/6. So 7 1/6. So how did you change your improper fraction to a mixed number? Let's try it again. You did 43 fraction button over 6, and when you hit enter, it stays that way. You have to hit the second button and then the times 10n button, which has the fraction to mixed number. Are you sure you want to change it from a fraction to mixed number? Yes. So you hit enter and it changes it 7 1/6. So in this case, we had to hit the second, and then you had to hit the times 10n button and then enter to change it from a fraction to a mixed number. You can clear your calculator. We're going to do these problems here. These problems are pretty basic. A lot of you can do in your head, but I just want you practicing. How would you put 1/5 plus 3/5? So you could do 1 fraction 5. Now you have to make sure you press over. If you don't press over and I hit plus, do you see every time I'm hitting plus, I'm actually in the denominator? So you can delete those back out. The delete button is right here. 5, you have to press over. So 1/5 plus, and then I have 3/5, so I can hit 3 fraction 5, enter, which is 4/5. A lot of you know that already, but that's how you would do it on your calculator. So you write in 4/5, that's in simplest form. Your answer is there. To do the next one, I clear it. I'm going to move my calculator over. I need to 5/16 plus 21 over 32. So I've got 5 fraction 16 over. Now I can add 21 fraction 32. And your answer is 31 over 32. You can box in your answer. Once you're done with that, you can clear the calculator. If you get stuck along the way or this is too fast, you can pause the video. You can ask your teachers for help. That's kind of why I did this, so you can get some practice. 9/10 minus 3/10. So 9 fraction 10. Got to press over again. Minus 3 fraction 10. Enter, and that is 3/5. It already simplifies it down. If you would have done that in your head, you might have gotten 6/10, but 6/10 simplifies down to 3/5. So that's kind of nice. It simplifies it for you. 3/5. You can clear, and you can move your calculator over so that you can do the next problem. Okay, again, I'm leaving it on the table. I'm not touching it. 5/8 minus 1/2. 5 fraction 8. Press over. Minus 1 fraction 2. Enter. I got 1/8. Hopefully you can see that. 1/8. And write it in there. Clear. And you can continue working on this page. This is mixed number plus mixed number. So in this case, I have to use the second fraction button so that I get a mixed number 3, and then I have to press over for 2, down for 3, and then I gotta press over. So I have 3 2/3. I need to hit plus. Now how do I get that mixed number again? You have to hit the second fraction button. 4, then you have to press over. 5, down you press 9, enter. And I get 74 over 9. We do not want to leave our answer 74 over 9. Do you remember how to change an improper fraction to a mixed number? You gotta look here, it's in green. Up right there, the times 10n button. So in this case, you want to hit second times 10n. Are you sure you want to take your improper fraction to a mixed number? Yes. So you hit enter. 74 over 9, you don't want to leave that. 74 over 9, you have to hit the second times 10n button and equals, and that changes it to 8 2/9. Clear that, and you're going to do another one. 7 1/8 minus 2 1/2. Okay, again, these are mixed numbers. So second fraction button, you would put 7, go over for 1, down for 8. You got to go over here so that you can now subtract another mixed number. So you second fraction button again, 2, over 1, down 2. So you should have 7 1/8 minus 2 1/2 equals, you get 37 over 8. Do you remember how to change it to a mixed number? Second times your 10n button and then equals. If for some reason you get an error, like a syntax error or something, you can always clear it and try plugging it in again. Second times 10n equals, you should get 4 5/8. The next one we're going to move on to is 7/8 of 56. Of means multiply, so you're taking 7/8 times 56. On your calculator, 7 fraction 8. What if you didn't do it that way and you hit the fraction button first? You could just do 7 and then down to get to the 8, and then you got to make sure you're over here. Times 56 equals 49. So you're going to put 49, let me move this out of the way so I can write 49 right here. Then you have 2 3/4 times 1 1/8. So mixed numbers again, but this time you're multiplying them. So you have to hit the second fraction button. 2 over 3 down 4. Then you got to press over so that now you can multiply. And we're going to be multiplying 1 1/8. So the second fraction button, 1 over 1 down 8. Enter. Now you get 99 over 32. That's improper. This is the number on the top is too big, so we have to hit the second times 10n to change it back to a mixed number. 3 and 3 over 32. The next couple of things I wrote on at the end because I think these will be helpful to you, just to have these and learn how to do that. So can you change 1/2 to a decimal? You might already know that 1/2 is 0.5 as a decimal, but I want you to write that, then change it back to a fraction and write both right here. So you got to plug in 1 fraction 2, and then you hit enter. It stays as a fraction. So how would I change a fraction to a decimal here? There's a button right here, the table button. You see right above it, F over to D, that's fraction to decimal. So if I want to use anything in green, I have to hit the second button. Second, table. Are you sure you want to change your fraction to a decimal? And you hit enter, yes. So you get 0.5. And then if you want to change it back, I think you can just hit, I tried to hit enter again. That just kept it as a decimal. If I want to make it back, I have to hit second, table again, change fraction to decimal. So you're back to 1/2. So in this case, you're hitting the second table button. So as a decimal, you had 1/2. You had to hit the second table button, and then you had to hit equals, and that's how you got 0.5. And then to change it back, you just hit second table equals, and it changed it back. So you've got your 1/2 and your 0.5. Now I want you to practice changing a mixed number into a decimal and then change it back to a fraction or a mixed number and write both. So you're going to hit the second table enter button again. So you've got 7 3/4. Remember, that is the second fraction button so that you get a mixed number. 7 over 3 down 4. And then if you hit enter, I think it changes it to a improper fraction here. So I still need to change basically a fraction to a decimal, which is the second table button. Are you sure you want to change fraction to decimal? Yes. So you hit enter. 7.75 is the decimal. And then if you hit that second table again, are you sure you want to change your fraction, decimal, fraction? Now look, it changes it back to 31 over 4, which is an improper. Now how do you change an improper back to a mixed number? This is the second times 10n. Are you sure you want to change your improper to a mixed number? So this was second, the times 10n button, to make sure you change it back to a mixed number, which is 7 3/4, the original one you had. So I think writing this kind of helps you. You can refer to this worksheet to help you when you're using your calculator if you get stuck. Change 1/3 to a decimal, 1 over 3. Enter is still a fraction on mine, so to change it to a decimal, second, which one of those is a decimal? There it is, table button, fraction to decimal. Notice this is 0.333333333. That means it is repeating, it goes on forever. So instead of trying to write 0.33333, you can write it as 0.3 with a line over it, or you could write it 0.33 with a line over both. The line tells you that those numbers are repeating forever and ever. Another one I want you to try, change 2/3 to a decimal and write it. So let me move this over. Changing 2/3 to a decimal, 2 fraction 3. If I hit enter, it's still a fraction. So remember the decimal, second table button. And this one you're going to notice is 0.6666666, and all of a sudden there's a 7. That's the calculator's way of saying eventually you either round up or it's saying this is a repeating decimal. So again, you're going to write it as 0.6 repeating. The 7's just there saying it's not going to go 6 forever. So this is the calculator's way of saying 0.66 repeating, or you could just write 0.6 repeating. I hope that helps you with your calculator. You can always go back and watch this video. We're going to glue these in our notes to help us. We wrote some notes in there. When you're using your calculator, remember when you turn it off, you hit second, and then you hit the on button and it shuts it off. you can put the lid back on it. So this is the one that says Bramall, keep in my desk, and my lid matches up with my calculator.